Something we've been doing the last 2 years is try to preview the Quebec teams before they come into Center 200 because we don't see them as often. With the Drummondville Voltigeurs coming into Center 200 on October 14th, wanted to touch base with their new play-by-play man, Simon Laliberté. Simon, it was a tough start for Drummondville, losing their first 2 games, but they win their next 2. Was the team worried about that start after the first 2 games, or was that just an unlucky start, perhaps some opening season jitters?
I think no, the team don't panic after 2 losses on the first weekend. It was at home, a lot of pressure. I think it's just a bad start, and they changed a couple things, and the game more simple for the last weekend on the road. So this is why they win the 2 games, and I think it's just important to have 1 win, and after the other will arrive. No, I think the team don't panic after the first weekend.
The Voltigeurs added 2 players from the Charlottetown Islanders that we know very well, Oscar Plendowski and Drew Elliott. What roles do you think those 2 players will play for Drummondville this season?
I think they will be 2 important players, one at defense, one at the offense. Elliott can play very physical, so it's very interesting for the Voltigeurs. And Plendowski is a good defenseman with experience, so I think the experience, it will be very great of these 2 players for the team. 2 good players, 2 good addition, and they will bring some experience.
This is a very talented Drummondville team. You see some high picks dotted throughout their roster, but they're still very young. Do you think the Volts can win the championship this year? What is the ceiling for this group?
The big year at Drummondville will be next year. That's the GM Philippe Boucher said at the beginning of the season. And he don't like that when we said that we have a young team. It's true, but a lot of players that they played last year. So a lot of 17 and 18 years old players, but with experience in the league. So this is why they think that they can win next year. But this year, it's important to win, to have a victory culture, a good mentality, but the big year will be next year.
This is Steve Hartley's 5th year as head coach in Drummondville. How much does it help to have a familiar face behind the bench? We see some turnover in the QMJHL, but he's really had the opportunity to put his stamp on this Volts team. Has that been beneficial to them?
Yes, the stability it's a key. An organization, it's important to build a winning team. It's important to have the same people in place, I think, it's my opinion. So with Steve Hartley, he know the processes, he know all the players in the league, he know all his players very well. But yes, it's very important to have this guy in place. Like I said, the big year will be next year, but to build something, it's important to have great people in place. And I think with Steve Hartley, this is the situation for the Voltigeurs.
It's early in the season, but everyone in Cape Breton would be curious about Tyler Peddle, of course, the key part of the Drummondville Voltigeurs. How has he looked in the early going in this season? What do you expect from him this year?
Tyler Peddle is a very exciting kid, exciting player to see on the ice. He have great offensive skill, so this is why it's very interesting to see this player in action. So a great shot, great hands, great skills, and he understands the game. So when he has the puck and when he don't have the puck, he know where to go. It will be a very, very, very good player in the league for sure.
If you look at the first 4 games of the season, the goaltenders split the 4 starts evenly, 2 apiece. Do you think one of the 2 goaltenders will become the true starting goalie?
I think that at this moment, Riley Mercer have an option for the number 1 goalie of the team. It's an 18 years old guy. It will be the guy from next year, the next season for the big years. Maybe they will try to develop him. But Gooby is a good goaltender, but 2 bad games to start the season. 2 bad games for him and 2 bad games for the team. So it's quick to do an analysis about that. Maybe a 50-50 season for the goalies, but at this moment, I think that Mercer will be number 1 or just to have more games.
Lastly, Simon, Drummondville comes to town October 14th, the Center 200. What else should fans be excited about from seeing this Drummondville team?
I think that fans of the Eagles will appreciate the game against the Voltigeurs because it's a quick team with a lot of skills. Some players able to be physical. It will be, I think, a great matchup.
Well, great insight on the Voltigeurs, Simon. We look forward to seeing them play at Center 200. That was Simon Laliberté joining us on the broadcast, teeing up the Drummondville Voltigeurs, who will come to Center 200 on October 14th. Look forward to that. As again, we only see the Quebec teams once a year, so we really try to appreciate seeing those players the one time we get the opportunity to do so. You're listening to Cape Breton Eagles Hockey on 1270 CJCB.